This is in response to Billy's Talking Points memo from Wednesday, July 1st, 2015. Are religious Americans in danger? This is it. This is the war. This is the religious war that Billy wants. So the Supreme Court decides on gay marriage, and now anyone who is a liberal is anti-church, anti-religion, and just is chopping at the bits to go after all the churches, so to speak. And the left despises organized religions, and they'll do anything to get rid of it. So it's not even about gay marriage, it's about being anti-church. So that's what's sitting now. The big thing about all this is fear. Fear now, fear in the future, fear forever. Because I got nothing now, but I'm going to tell you how much you need to be in fear now because of what's going to happen in a couple of years, or what may happen in a couple of years. So So Billy goes into a little bit about the adoption agencies, and the adoption agencies have to go out of business. Well, the reason the adoption agencies have to go out of business, the Catholic Church or adoption agencies, is because they will not conform to federal regulations, and they get money from the federal government to perform these services. So, the Catholic Church doesn't get it all just from the donations. They get it from the United States government. So if they're going to take money from the United States government, then they have to act as a representative of the United States government in some capacities. And if they don't want to do that, then they need to close shop. And that's what Billy said. He also indicated, Billy didn't say that, somebody else said that. Billy indicated that there are some Catholic charities that do allow gays to adopt. That's what he was talking about, was gays being adopting people, adopting children in the Catholic Church, not wanting to allow gays to adopt because it's against their religion. And they really can't do that because they get the funding to provide these services to the American people from the federal government. And that's the same thing that in Louisiana, Bobby Jindal said that he would have a law that would protect anyone who would make the decision as a government official who swears an oath to the Constitution to uphold the laws, that if they decided that for their own reasons, their own religious reasons, that they did not want to perform gay marriages, that the laws would protect them. And no, the laws will not protect them, and the ACLU is going after Bobby Jindal for very good reason. If you are a justice of the peace, or you are a judge, and the Supreme Court has made the decision that all gay people can be married, that means all gay people can be married. Because when you decide that you want to get paid by the state of Louisiana, a parish in Louisiana, or the United States federal government, and you take an oath of office that you will uphold the laws of the Constitution of the United States, that means that you are a representative of the United States. You are not there strictly to decide what laws you want to fulfill and what laws you don't want to fulfill based on your own religious interpretation. And the thing that Billy wants to bring the fear in about all of that is that was decided by the Supreme Court. And the next president may have an opportunity to increase the number in the Supreme Court, increase the number of liberals, or as Billy would like to say, uber liberals in the Supreme Court. Now let's get something certain here. This is what, June 2nd? And it won't, 2015. We don't even know who's going to be the president in 2017. If it's a Democrat and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is the one who would most likely go first, puts in her resignation, then she's already one of the liberal ones. So you're not going to have that problem there. Now the next one might be Kennedy. And, of course, that might not happen right away. That might not happen for a year or two. It might be several years. And Kennedy also is not the uber liberal, because there's only 4 uber liberals: Souter, Kagan, Sotomayor, and Elizabeth Ginsburg. No, not Elizabeth Ginsburg, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the notorious RBG. And remember what the notorious RBG says: "Biggie, biggie, biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your rules just hypnotize me. Oh, and I just love your flashy ways." But so Billy wants us to be scared today for the fact that, but the other 3 liberal judges, Souter, Sotomayor, and Kagan, are going to be around for a while. So all of this is fear based on what may happen several years in the future. But the big thing about it is that it has to deal directly with the fact that if Hillary gets elected and becomes president. And besides Scalia, is there anyone else that's that old? Kennedy? Souter. So Kennedy, Souter, and Scalia might retire. So there's one lib, one conservative. So of the four that could retire, two libs, one conservative, and one that's been on the fence, Kennedy. So it's all fear. It's all fear today. You have to fear now of what might happen in 2 or 3 years, because if one of the liberals goes, one of the conservatives goes, gets replaced by a liberal, then the ACLU is going to go after the no tax policy that the churches have. You see, they're chomping at the bit for it right now. And that's going to happen because Billy says it's going to happen. And, it's all fear. It's all fear. Bring it in now for what may happen 2 or 3 or 4 years from now. That's why I'm going to title this rant, Hillary's Supreme Court.